Hello everybody, it's Christine. So today what I have is a layout. Well, technically the deal is the scrap room, I get the little flavors of the month, and they did send over one of the particular collections this month was the Fernwood collection with Vicki Boutin, but I also already had the full collection. So the nice thing is I'm going to be able to, what is the word, augment my little scrap room kit. So and I've seen a couple of layouts using this paper, and I'll show you in just a second. So the photo I'll tell you here is my hubby. He and my daughter go on a daddy-daughter trip. They've made a tradition out of it at this point. Actually, I guess technically they've been on 2 so far, and they've already got one planned for this coming summer. And then this one was in Colorado. I think it was Estes Park, because they go on hikes and stuff. They like to do that. So that's my hubby at the top of some mountain somewhere out in Colorado. So that's the picture. And my plan is to use this like mixed media looking background here. This is really pretty. I just love the little, it's way better than anything I would ever make. Like I try to do this and it looks like a hot mess. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to actually frame it on this because it is dark and it gives you a nice contrast. I'll need to gut this because I don't want to waste the paper. So I will gut that. I'll trim this down a little bit. I'm going to mat the photo. I had a few like scraps, but I want to be sure to stay like the right colors. So this was actually a sheet that came with the scrap room. I love the circles and whatnot, but I'm going to use the pink because I do think it goes with this pink setup here. And then I'm going to use this, it was the like Charlie Brown looking deal, but it has this words on the back here, and I think the colors go really good. So I'm going to end up matting that. And then I still have all these little ephemeras. This is actually from one of the pattern papers, and I had cut out the hexagons, so I'll try to figure out a way to use maybe one of those pieces. I'm going to use for sure this little frame. I'm actually going to kind of do something maybe like this on top of this, so you're not covering up the whole picture, but it just kind of frames my hubby. I think that's cute. And then I've kind of got the other ephemera sitting here. I don't know that I'm going to use any of that. The stuff I've kind of pulled out like here is what I'm imagining I'm going to use. And I like these little words here. I'm going to figure out a way to use those here. You know, something here. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. I even have, so for a title, I do have some of the Vicki Boutin type stuff here. I think I'm really debating because this is such a pretty photo, and I'm thinking like, you know, document this, or because I mean even this is document, so this might be kind of neat. Document life. I got to think about it. But then because I also had this little set, this is not part of the collection. It actually came from, I think it's Hobby Lobby is where I got this one. But I like this Explore, but I just don't know. It kind of goes with the flower. So, but I kind of like document. So I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this one a little bit once I kind of start working. Isn't that funny that what I think is so funny is I can start working on a layout. I don't really know where it's going. It's kind of, I guess it's the creative process. But anyway, let me go ahead and do some of the trimmings and kind of cut things down, mat the photo. What I may actually do, I've said this before, I don't do it. I may go ahead and do it, is stop my talking here and then just put the video on, you know, I'll put it on fast forward or whatever and then talk over it. Let me try that. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I haven't done it. Let me try that. All right. We'll talk soon. Alrighty, so here we go. What I'm doing, as I mentioned to you, is, well, first off, I'm trimming off the branding strips. The branding strips on the Vicki Boutin collections are really good. They usually have really pretty designs. If it's the sheet that's not in the pad, it's a little nicer because you can use them full across. But even the ones in the pad that have the hole in the middle, you know, you can usually use those some kind of way. I actually have a tall like cup thing on my desk that I stick my branding strips in, and I just love the branding strips on these collections. So as I mentioned, I'm going to gut the middle of this darker paper, which has like the little mushrooms and deer and whatnot. It's really cute, but I don't really use that. I'm not going to use deer and mushrooms or whatever, but I do like the contrast to the mixed media background paper. It's really pretty. And when I do put it on there, you can kind of see the red of the mushrooms in that, but it's more about the color than it is the pattern. So now I've already trimmed the watercolor mixed media looking background down. I did just do a 1/4 inch. I had a pretty narrow mat there. And I'm going to use this double-sided tape to attach it. I did just get this off of Amazon. It says it's WELIU. This is what I got. It's like a box of kind of different sizes. So I basically used up all my double-sided tape. I was actually looking through my adhesives the other day, and I'm like, holy cow, I've used pretty much every adhesive I had. How did I do that? I used to have tons and tons and tons. So I need to kind of restock on that. Anyway, so what I tend to do here, well, this was smart of me today. I don't always do it. Sometimes I forget, and I take all the stickies off, and then I set it down, and it's crooked. So in this case, I was able to just did the one corner, start kind of sizing it in the opposite corner so it's in the right spot, and then I put it down, and then I'll go around and pull the double sides off. And I'm pretty pleased. I got it all in the right spot as opposed to crooked or whatever, or at least to my eye. I didn't measure it or anything like that. I'm not usually that special or that precious with it, but okay, so now here's where I was saying I'm going to take the photo, and I'm going to actually end up triple matting it. I used the pink polka dot as the mat closest to the photo, but then after I had gutted that pattern behind the watercolor, I had that pattern that has the same kind of shade of pinkish flowers there. You can kind of see they're behind, and I thought, oh, that'll be kind of pretty in between the pink polka dot and the green, because it complements, but it also introduces kind of that dark color with the flower middles. So I like how that goes. I'm not, I have to tell you guys, I try to measure, I kind of sometimes measure with the cutter, like the size or whatever, and be pretty specific about it. But honestly, lots of times I'm doing it with just by my eye. So you'll see me, I'll set the paper there and I'll go, okay, about right here. And then I'll just start trimming. I don't know, I may end up wasting paper sometimes because I sometimes do have to back it off and, trim a little bit more or whatever. But generally speaking, I can usually do pretty good. I have a fairly decent eye for that. And then here I'm going with this third layer. I really think, honestly, I love to triple mat if it's like a single photo. Just really brings out, actually, I like all the mats. I love matting photos for different colors and all that stuff. I'm about to cut over because I do scuff the edges of all these mats here with the Tim Holtz scuffer. So I'm going to scooch off, just kind of cut over to here where it's now they're already done. You don't want to sit there and watch me just scuff them little pieces of paper for the next 10 minutes. So cut that part out, come over here. Now I'm working on these ephemera, and I really love the ephemera in this collection. They're so unique. They're a mix match of different things. There's a ton of like cards and shapes and little icons and all the things. So I really love it. I do like this little, I guess it's a Polaroid frame. In fact, it even says instant at the top on the right there. And I'm going to put that over my husband because there's a lot of mountain and sky. You kind of see what it is. I think it frames him nicely. I do put it up on foam tape, so it gives it some dimension. And I've honestly, the stuff on the side there, I've just kind of laid for the moment. I know I kind of want that there. The one little card just says, today I am. I don't know if I cut this out or not, but later I'll come back in and just put a check mark next to exploring new things. And then there's two little like notebook torn out looking things. One is just kind of a yellowy pattern looking thing. And then the black one is actually vellum. And it says, taking the unexpected path. And it's got like little gold flowers on the side. I think that's really pretty. And I put that over there. So I'm pulling off these foam tape sticker things. And I'm going to lay that over the top of the photo at a bit of an angle. Why I haven't glued my photo down yet, I don't know. But I'm doing that. So I'm going to put this little frame over it with the foam tape. I think that looks so good. I'm so pleased with that. And then I have this little word piece out of the ephemera. It says, my beautiful world. That's a little bit of a play on words in the sense of, he's obviously looking out over this, gorgeous vista. But for me, it's like he's my husband. He's, my beautiful world too. So it's a little bit of a double meaning, I guess, for me. So here I am kind of messing around again with these ephemeras. I do have those little shoes there. I mean, obviously they're not hiking shoes. I get it, but they're shoes and they walked a lot. So that's kind of, that's the point for me. If I'm 100% honest, I don't really know why I showed that to you like that. I'm guessing I was probably trying to show you the frame on there. I'm not really sure. I did put a little word phrase up in the upper left. I haven't obviously glued it down yet, but it says capture the moments. And then I've got this other little journaling card that is some kind of flowers, but the word says beautiful view. So the whole point of it, honestly, if I'm being 100% real, the point of that card is to use that beautiful view. So again, I'm kind of looking for some ephemera to fit here. I've got this floral. I don't have as many of these left. I think I've used a lot, honestly, on other layouts. So I've laid that there. Honestly, when I go to glue it down, it ends up at a different angle. It goes in the same place, just a different angle. And I'm kind of looking at some other phrases, thinking I'll put them behind. There's a label there. I've got that little green label, and I've set that there. I like that there. Trying to figure out what I might put either behind it or with it. I pull that card out. It's too big. It doesn't work. I do find this yellow flower. I'm like, okay, there's another floral. Let me see about this. That ends up going up over that Today I Am card. I'm going to stick that in that little corner there. I like that. And again, nothing's glued down at this point, but I'm just playing around with different pieces. So now I've pulled out the sticker sheet, and then I set it down, of course. And now I'm thinking, you know what, I better figure out where my title's going to go, because I'm going to start gluing all this stuff down and be like, oh crap, where's my title going to go? So I decided I'm going to pull the title out first before I start gluing everything else down and messing myself up. And I think I mentioned in the intro, I decided on document this. The reality is I end up with a lot of words on this layout, and I actually kind of like it. So this document this is fine. I tried above the picture. Didn't really like it up there. I put it below, but then on the other hand, I have this little cluster going in the lower right. I don't want to mess with that. So I end up just putting it over the top of these little journaling things on the left-hand side. And I kind of like it, actually. It's not exactly like, you know, a title block per se, but the title goes over there, and I kind of play with it a little bit because I do still want that exploring new things to show. And then I'm going to put this over the shoes. And I'm just thinking in my mind it's acting as a little bit of a title block. The D gets a tiny bit lost on the black vellum, but I'm still kind of, I like it because it still kind of connects everything. So I'm going to kind of stick with that. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting foam tape underneath that little piece of ephemera that said capture the moments that's in the upper left. And I know I want that thing up there, but I don't really just want it floating there. So I'm going to come back in a minute. You'll see, because I just, like I said, I don't like it just floating there. I mean, technically it's got a lot of little layers, or like, they're not really layers, but they look like layers printed on it. But to me, I was still like, this looks a little strange. So then I realized, okay, you've glued nothing down, Christine. You better start gluing this stuff down, or you're going to end up getting really confused as to where you want things. I'm terrible about setting things down, being happy, then go to pull it back to glue it, and then going, oh crap, where did I have that? So I wanted to get this down before I really kind of forgot and missed it and everything. So I've got my little journaling card over there, and obviously I'm playing around with the florals. I will come back in a second. I'll add some more stuff. I really wanted to try to use up a lot of these things I had pulled out. It's almost like sometimes this ephemera is like little rabbits, and they're multiplying when you're not looking because I had so much of it. Okay, now I'm kind of going, I need to glue some of this stuff on the side over here, and I'll lift it and put stuff down. And honestly, in a little bit, you'll see me. I'll go back through with some Nuvo glue, trying to capture edges and that sort of thing so it doesn't come up. But I'm liking this two little notebook pieces together. I like the layering of it. And I actually will come back in with some stickers too. So you'll see in a minute with word stickers and phrase stickers. Okay, so I'm looking everything over. I'm deciding, yep, I need to glue this stuff down. I will also come in a second with foam tape and put up, I've done this before. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll see I like to come up on the edges of florals or different things and just give the edge a little dimension. So like the bottom part or something like that will be glued down, but then the edge will have it. Here's where I'm going to come in with these fern leaves. I really like these fern leaves. These are my last two though. So, well, I say that. I think the sticker sheet has one, but from an ephemera standpoint, these are the last two. And I thought, okay, this is a good place to put these. Because there's that tree. You can maybe see it. It's behind my husband. There's just a kind of random tree on this mountaintop. I don't know what it's doing there. I mean, I guess it's living, but it's like, okay, it's just kind of random. So these little things kind of reminded me of that. This is where I decided, okay, I don't want you just floating up there. I want to do something. And I had trimmed, that's actually the back side of the that stripe there is actually the back side of the watercolor background paper I'm using. And at first I thought I might do that, but I'm like, you're too big, you're too fat, you're not right. But then I had the other side where I had actually I trimmed on the sides, right? So I had trimmed this one skinny little piece off of that, and it's like this white or whatever, real thin piece. And I thought, okay, that doesn't look too bad. I like that. So in my mind, I'm going, okay, I'm going to put that up behind that ephemera piece to kind of anchor it to the layout. And now I'm playing around with this lower right corner. And again, I want to anchor you too. So I thought, it's going to be, I'll do this. I'll take that sheet or that piece, I'll cut it in half, and I'm going to come down here on the bottom and put you. I did find this little chipboard flower in the chipboard. And then I also end up finding the little phrase there says, take it easy. And I'm going to put that on top. So I've got the little red and white stripe kind of anchoring the little cluster. I put my chipboard down. I put my take it easy down. I don't know if I do this yet, but I end up finding like a white flower sticker. I think I go ahead and glue these down first, these stripes. I'm not certain now. It's funny how, I literally just made this layout maybe an hour ago, and I've already forgotten the order in which I did things. That's so crazy. But I'm still going back to this sticker sheet. I want to try to use some of this stuff because there's so much of it. And this is where I find that little white flower. And I go, okay, that looks good. I like how he's just kind of poking out there, adding a little something, something. And so I think, okay, now I'm going to start gluing stuff down. I'm sorry I'm off camera just a little bit. I catch myself periodically coming back in there. This is where I've got the Nuvo glue, and I'm gluing the stripe, and I'm gluing the chipboard. And I'm going to put all that down right about there. And I like that. And yep, let's get that just so. And then I trim off the edge there. Now, again, I'm going to come back in here in a second. I'm going to actually put a little bit of foam underneath the left side of that take it easy and then glue it all down. I think that's where I just did that. So you'll see that over the top of the, well, no, actually, that's not what I'm doing now. So I put the little bit of foam over it, and then I'm gluing it on top of that chipboard flower. And that looks pretty good. I will find actually one more little phrase sticker that's going to go underneath and to the left just a little bit of the take it easy phrase. But I don't do that, I don't think, until toward the end, because I'm getting on that sticker sheet again, just trying to figure out what can I use. So I'm going to make my way back up to the upper left corner. And this is where I kind of poop around with this for a second, going, okay, how long does my little stripe need to be? And then I glue it down, and then I have to kind of wiggle it and move it and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of crazy. It's not like I had, too much time in between laying it there, seeing where I want it and put it down, but, whatever. Okay, so I'm gluing my little stripe down, and then I'm going to take the backing off my foam tape, and I'll lay my Capture the Moment ephemera. I mentioned in the intro, this is my husband and my daughter have started like a daddy-daughter tradition. They go every year. They did it right after her graduation, her college graduation. My gosh, how did she get so old? And they enjoyed the crap out of it. They went actually to Phoenix. They were supposed to go to Canada, to Banff, and I think Canada's been closed for now 2 years. I don't know if they can still get in there without all kinds of restrictions. So they kind of gave up on that and decided, we'll just do domestic. U.S. is beautiful anyway. So they went to Arizona the first year, and then this year, this is what this trip is from Colorado. This coming summer, they're looking at Utah. So I'm thinking they're going to have a great time. They love to hike. I like to hike too, but their hiking and my hiking are totally different. My hiking is taking pictures of the butterflies and looking at the pretty things. And their hiking is let me run up this mountain at 900 miles an hour. And I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. That's not a vacation. So they go off on their own, and I spend a week at home by myself, and I usually scrapbook and watch Netflix. So it's great. Okay, so again, I'm kind of going in here. I've added my little foam tape behind the edges of the florals, again, to give it those little bits of dimension. And, it's funny when you're going around, you've tucked stuff, and I'm sure you guys do this. You tuck stuff in and just seeing, is it going to work, blah, blah. And then you realize, 10 minutes later, you still hadn't glued it down. It's like, oh, crap, I need to glue that down. It's still wiggling. This is my little adventure in foam tape application. I do end up finding a sticker to put on top of my little label. I don't think I've done that yet. I'll come back in a second. It's funny. I'll keep going back to my little sticker sheets and all that. Okay, so I'm checking. Is everything glued down? Okay, yeah. So here I'm on the sticker sheet. I do find a sticker that has, it's like a little piece of fake washi tape or whatever. Oh, no, I'm going back over here. I decided Sorry about that. I told you something a little too soon. I decided I like these little circles with the pie colored looking things with the little gold dots. You know, it matches some of the other papers, like there's circles with pie looking things or whatever. But I thought they look pretty here. They're just adding a little something. It actually ends up being 4, which I know kind of breaks the rules of 3, but I like it. It still kind of gives, I mean, I have like this horizontal set of ephemera type stuff it fills in, and then I've got my other 2 clusters, and I think it looks good, so I'm pleased with it. I went to see if I could use, well, I wanted to use some more of the chipboard stickers I found here and there. So now it says like beautiful view here and there. I thought that was kind of neat. And I thought about, I don't know if I do this yet, but I thought about using like, it was like a tab looking thing in the chipboard section or sets, but I ended up not liking that. So I'm kind of looking at the words, and I think I even pulled this off and set it over there, but I'm like, no, that just doesn't, it didn't look right. So put it back. This is when I go to the sticker sheet. Now I do find this sticker, it says wandering, and it has like a little piece of fake washi kind of printed on it. So I really like how this is this little wandering, and it matches the green and everything. So I thought it looked pretty. And this is where I realized, oh, you haven't even glued that label down. So I'm going to put that down there. I think that looks pretty cute. There we go. And I'm looking some more, and I'm going, okay, what else can I add? What else can I add? And I find some more word stickers. That one says taking the unexpected path, and I think that looks kind of neat down there in that lower left corner, or excuse me, lower right corner. It says taking the unexpected path. That kind of matches the black over there, the little black vellum piece. And then I find in my element, which is like a beigey color. I think that looks kind of cool. This is where I go, oh, I'm going to check that little box that says exploring new things. So I grab my pen, do that real quick. And then I find another little sticker that says new places, and I'm going to add that. And I think if I'm honest, I'm going to go around here with this Nuvo since I pulled it out in a second and just start gluing down like edgy things, like things that look to me like they're not really stuck. But first I got to get these little word phrases stuck down there. Yeah, so I'm going to go through and go, oh, that's coming up. And I haven't done it at this point either, but on the area that I've gutted on the back, I'll do this. I'm not going to do this. I don't do it on camera or anything, but I always take washi tape and kind of just put it so that the papers don't maybe get caught or whatever when I go to put it in my page protectors. So I don't show that either, but just so you know, whenever I go back in, I will put washi tape on the back side. So, okay, I've glued my little stickers down. Now I realize, oh, you got to glue those little chipboard circles down. It's really funny, these stickers. I mean, everybody talks about it. It's like they don't stick real good. Some of them kind of do sometimes, but most of the time they don't stick real good, and we kind of fuss, but I might have even said this before. I actually don't mind that they don't stick because I don't always want them to go where I actually initially set them. So I prefer to be able to pick it up and move it and then just glue it later. And I really am happy with that. So I'm almost there. This is, again, like I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to glue some stuff down. Oops, I had forgotten to glue down my here and there. So see, telling you, man, you don't even realize you've missed it until you start picking it up and playing with it. So in a second, I'm going to show you the close-ups here. I'm going to pull it up to the camera. And this is slowed down a little bit so you can kind of see better. I really like how that little frame on there looks. You can see the dimension from the chipboard and the foam tapes and that. And there's the shiny parts of the gold accent pieces. I really like how this layout turned out, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.